Go Squad TV. Alright, so I didn't want to have to do this, man. And this really doesn't have too much to do with today's game. But I got two videos coming up. This is the first one. Is Cam Newton done as a passing quarterback? Not as a running quarterback. As a passing quarterback. Is Cam Newton done? Now, outside the Seattle game and the New York Jets game, Cam Newton is only thrown for 5 touchdowns this whole season. Whole season. He's the only 2 games that I can even remember notably that he threw for over maybe 100 yards passing were the Jets game and the Seahawks game. I know Belichick is trying to protect him from his deficiencies, but I think if Cam Newton was on any other team, he'd be out the league. He can't throw the ball. I've seen him throw a pass. I've seen him throw a pass today in this game against the Rams. It was like on the first drive. And it was 3rd down. And man, his arm is done. Mind you, you forget he had 2 shoulder surgeries. 2 shoulder surgeries. That's a product of him running and being a running quarterback for so long in Carolina. The apex of that year being his 2015 MVP season. His stubbornness the years after that, before Norv Turner tried to turn him into a passer, he had his best year in 2017-18 before the injuries started getting to him. Passing. He's never been an accurate passer to begin with. He can't pass the ball 5 yards down the field. Now, our receivers aren't great. I get that what he has to work with is not great. Jacoby Myers probably being our best receiver. You know, right now, James White is a running back. They rarely use him because, like I said, we run the ball so much now that we really don't use the short passing game the way we did when Brady was here. You know, you would think that short passing game would work precisely for Cam Newton because he can't throw the ball more than 10, 15 yards. He can't even do that consistently. Now, we still got the rest of the season. We don't know what's going to happen. But if you want my honest opinion, I'm going to just give it to you. I think the Patriots need to move on from Cam Newton. I hate to say this, but we got to move on from Cam Newton. I like that we won the last 5 out of 6 games, but we're not going to win the Super Bowl. It's pretty damn obvious we're not going to win the Super Bowl with him throwing 69 yards in a game or like 85 yards in a game. We won the last 2 games against 2 teams that one was not even in playoff picture. And the other one is a 500 team. But he can't throw the ball, man. He can't throw the ball. He can't throw. We're already down 10-0 in this game. He just blew another 3rd down pass. He got tipped. Listen, for all the flack they gave Tom Brady a year ago, at least the man, even if he threw 5 yards and barely could throw 5 yards, at least he was able to get first downs. We can't even get first downs again. Like I said, the receiving unit, the receiving core is not great. So I'm not going to sit there and throw that on Cam or even throw what happened last year on Brady, like I did last year. But man, Cam can't throw. And I like Cam. I hope if he sees this or hears this, I hope we don't take this personal. I just know what I see. As strong as he is, when you have 2 major shoulder surgeries in back-to-back years, on top of having foot issues, which took him out the game last year in a preseason game against the Patriots, I watch his old footage. I was watching a lot of his old footage from when he beat the Patriots years ago, a couple years ago. He was throwing the ball down the field. He wasn't great accuracy wise, but he was getting it done. He can't even do that anymore. He's barely even getting separation on his runs. You got to get Cam Newton in the end zone in order for him to even be in a situation where it looks good for him. Yeah, he has like 10 touchdowns rushing, but like we didn't draft a quarterback to throw 65 yards in a game in multiple games and just run the ball. Like, this ain't 1945, man. Like, this is not how Patriots football is. Listen, I'm not a Stidham fan. I used to be. I know he kind of, effed up a bunch of times, and Belichick's just got to go in the draft and draft somebody, draft a quarterback, and draft some receivers. He drafted 2 tight ends, which he's sitting them out this year, just like he did the Damian Harris last year. So for all you people sitting there saying those 2 tight ends we draft probably can't play, you're wilding. You're probably catching up on the system because of how complex our system is. And they don't even know what quarterback they're going to get thrown to. So it's like, you know what? They're going to go with Ryan Izzo and a lot of these experienced tight ends that we have for now and get them caught up in the system. So next year you'll see Devin Asazier or the other tight end that we drafted, like, we'll see those 2 tight ends a lot more, just like we're seeing Damian Harris. But I also think that there's a lot of aging players on that team, too, that are from the Brady era that you might either have to get rid of or we keep for veterans' sake. Like, I'm gonna just keep it a beam with you. I think Edelman's out of here. I think this is his swan song. I think he either retires or I think he gets traded. I think he's gone. I just have a hard time believing he's going to be back. He's not even he's on the injured list. He's not on the IR. He just hasn't come back. He had a minor surgery on his knee. He was supposed to be out a couple of weeks. We don't even know where he's at. But back to Cam Newton. Just ain't getting it done, man. I mean, listen, it's great that we beat Arizona. It's great that we beat San Diego. Well, not San Diego, Los Angeles, the Chargers. It's great that we beat the Jets. It's great that, we beat Miami in the first game of the season. We beat not Oakland, but Las Vegas in the second game of the year. But let's face it, man, he's just really been mediocre against really good defenses. Hell, Denver's not a great offensive team, but their defense shut him down when he had his first game back. And mind you, I know he had COVID, so I'm not. But you know what? I'm not going to give him that excuse. He just can't throw the ball, and it's just like I hate to say that, but it's just true. My next video, I'm going to be addressing. I'm addressing something else Patriot related. But I will say this. I personally think we need to move on from Cam Newton. What do you guys think? Leave your comments down below. Go Squad TV, back in the few.